Welcome in Inside the Icebox here on the ESPN Houston YouTube channel and ESPN 97.5 and 92.5. Joe George, Jeremy Brandon here with you. This episode, as always, is brought to you by Blue Star Tequila. You can find it near you at bluestartequila.com. Plenty of bars and liquor stores. You can find it here in the Houston area now. Jeremy, we've got a lot to talk about, honestly. It's a weird stretch of baseball for the Astros. They're playing right around 500 as we record this. They're 4 games up on the Mariners, so by the time you're listening to this, it'll either be 3.5 or 4.5 up on them. But the Mariners are terrible. But at the end of the day, the biggest story is Framber Valdez and throwing at his catcher.
Allegedly.
Allegedly throwing at his catcher. Now that we're a couple days removed from it, how do you feel? Because you were defending Framber.
No, I feel the same way. I think that's too strong of a word, defending. Framber was wrong in a lot of ways that day. He can't control his emotions, which he's never really been good at that. He has anger management issues, which is very clear. It's why he has a sports psychiatrist.
A bad one.
He wasn't remorseful of crossing up his catcher at minimum, depending on where you stand on that. I guess was pouty after the game that led to some sort of confrontation in the clubhouse afterwards, according to Michael Schwab. So, like all of those things, I'm not defending Framber. I can't get myself to he intentionally hit his own catcher, something we've never seen before in Major League Baseball history. And I get a kick out of it. Oh, you're a hot take artist. Yeah, I'm a hot take artist saying that something that's never happened before in Major League Baseball history did not happen here. What a hot take. No, I don't think he intentionally did it. I have my reasons for it. I've heard everybody else talk about it. I think a lot of these national people take leaps and reaches because it's their opinion. And also, we live in this world, content matters, clicks matter, drama sells. How many of these national people, Brzezinski, Kratz, King of JUCO, which King of MLB would have been more credible, how many of these people know that Framber Valdez has the little coping device where he walks back to the mound and turns his back on everything? Why does he do that? He does that because the Astro sports psychiatrist that he works with told him to do that. Everybody else is well, look at him. He's just walking away from his catcher. Yes, he is doing that technically, but it's a coping mechanism for him. And then also the whole part about one, why would he be mad at his catcher for telling him to step off? When Framber threw the pitch Framber wanted, not that Salazar wanted, because there was disagreement there late in the pitch clock. That's why he threw, because they were down to 2 seconds. The first pitch to Volpe, he called a changeup there. He's waiting for a curveball. Okay, so he's calculated at this point. Then if you go back and watch the video, which TBS didn't have this video, Shin didn't have this video, and the game was also broadcasted on, TBS?
I believe so, yeah.
Or Yes Network. So it was Yes Network, TBS, and Shin. 3 different networks covered this game. None of the networks show the full sequence of walking to the rubber, getting the sign, if there was a sign, at all. I went kind of behind, privileges that I'm not supposed to have. I went behind to get the pitcher-catcher angle, and I tweeted this. If you look at Framber, the moment he gets to the rubber, Salazar hasn't punched in a sign. And the moment that Framber gets to the rubber, Salazar hadn't punched in a sign, Framber starts the wind, and Salazar's still punching. So people are like the quotes after the game, well, Framber, he heard curveball, but he threw sinker because that was in his mind. Because he was already in the windup. Do I think Framber heard curveball once he started the windup? Probably, yeah. I do think that. But can a pitcher, after he has sinker in his mind and is committed to throwing the sinker and has started his windup, change mid-windup to throw a curveball? Absolutely not. Framber also hits the mitt. He hits the target. Now Salazar flips the target, sure, because he's expecting curveball because he punched it in late. And him punching it late wasn't his fault. That was Framber's fault because he's throwing a temper tantrum and working too fast. Going to the rubber, just showing and going and blowing right through it. That's Framber's fault. But the sign came in after Framber started the windup. And Framber talked about this, but because it kind of gets lost in translation, you're writing what a translator tells you. It's, well, this is what happened. Framber went rogue and called his own pitch. No, he's throwing sinker unless told otherwise. He started his windup. He heard curveball after he started his windup, and by that time it was too late.
I think my only thing is, and I agree with you, my first reaction was oh, it looks like he threw it at him. But then you think about it more, and it's probably unrealistic. Whatever happened in the clubhouse is probably deserved because I think the bigger picture here has been the story of Framber and that he just cannot get out of his own way at times. And that is the bigger, more important thing here for the Astros, the remainder of the season, the remainder of his career, for him as an Astro going into free agency. It's now going to be the number one thing he's asked about in all these job interviews. He meets with the Yankees, he meets with the Cubs, he meets with the Padres. They're going to say, what happened on this play? Walk us through it. It's going to be the number one question. If you make that big of a national stink, because of that, everyone's going to know the truth. And this is one of those where my also initial thought was after they met with them was, I'm curious what the reporting will be in 3 months. What will happen when he signs elsewhere? It's like when Bill O'Brien got fired, right? Everyone and their mother had a story about Bill O'Brien and arguments with J.J. Watt and all these different things. So I'm curious how it changes over time. But for now, I give him the benefit of the doubt that he didn't intentionally throw at Salazar. The bigger problem is he needs to get his stuff together. Ever since the game in which he had some validation and being frustrated with the coaching staff and the plan for the positioning of the defensive outfielders, and he gave up a late run in a game, he has been mostly a disaster.
Yeah. No, bigger picture, you're absolutely right. Like that's a conversation I'd much rather have. Like I'm so tired of arguing this.
Because it's all opinion-based.
It is. Like you can tell by the way their faces look that it was intentional. Like listen to what you're saying.
Yes.
Like you can tell exactly one, they're not even sure what happened really. Like in the heat of the moment, like I'm sure Salazar, like, did he just do that on purpose? But they don't know for sure.
Yeah.
Like they don't know. Like they have a better idea of when the sign was given. They have a better idea after watching it, like when did Framber start the whine versus when did he get the sign. And the other thing is, like other guys are wearing pitch comm too. Like I forget how many that the defense gets. I think it's 4 maybe. Where other defenders can wear pitch comm. That way, okay, let's see what pitch is coming. If it's a breaking ball, I can cheat towards the line. If it's a righty, et cetera, if you're a third baseman. So I think that your point's a good one. Like if Framber leaves in free agency, we all expect that. We've always expected that. Then do stories come out about that fateful day? And look, if there's a what am I looking for? An anonymous source. If there's an anonymous source that tells Chandler Rome in the offseason that Framber intentionally threw at him, okay, I'll change my opinion. Like that now is a fact. Because right now it's all conjecture. It's all opinion. The only person that truly knows is Framber. So if somebody comes out in the offseason and be like, oh yeah, it was 100% intentional and because I trust Rome's reporting, okay, well I'll change my mind. At that point, you got me. I concede. My opinion was wrong. But I'm not getting there until I have a player that says that. Because I don't believe it. I stand my ground on that, and I feel like I have good reason, and I think I describe it well. Now, to your point, the bigger picture, absolutely. And my theory on this is that I think Framber's feeling the pressure of a couple of things. The minor thing is, okay, no run support, I got to be perfect, the very fine line, that sort of thing. But I think the bigger picture is the millions of dollars he could potentially be losing. A Framber who is mentally unstable, right, knows that free agency is coming up. He knows that if he finishes strong, he could get upwards of, like I always look at the Max Fried contract. Framber will be in free agency a year later than Fried. They're about the same age, but Framber entering free agency a year later. I think Fried got, what was it, 208 for 8, 218 for 8, something like that?
Yeah.
So Framber's thinking, if I pitch well, I'm getting $200 million. And when it starts to unravel, Framber's like, man, did I just lose $10 million? Did I just lose another $10 million? And whenever you have this pressure in a guy who can't control his emotions, it starts to snowball. And I think that's what's happening right now. And it is ugly. He is costing himself money. I understand the frustration. I'm right there with you. I wouldn't bring him back, although I would have never brought him back. But no, he's costing himself money. I think we can visibly see it.
Yeah, I think we're seeing 3 either former Astros or current Astros that are going into free agency this offseason who have been listed as usually the top 3 free agents or 3 of the top 5 free agents into this offseason. Basically, sometimes Bellinger is shockingly ranked in front of Framber with the way he's playing for the Yankees, but Tucker has probably cost himself, based on Jeff Passan's reporting, close to $100 million. He went from 450 to 500 to saying now he's going to get 350 to 4. Bregman's looking up, like he's going to get a much better contract in the offseason. But Framber, I mean, look, everyone that listens to me knows like where I'm from and everything. But like, if a Cubs fan asked me like, would you want Framber Valdez? I would say absolutely not. I have zero interest in him. There should be zero interest in the Astros in bringing him back because he's not. The the balance is gone.
Yeah.
When he becomes a $20 million to $25 million pitcher, these headaches become a real problem. You can deal with it now, but when you're getting that big time cash, you can't be that guy. You're supposed to be the guy who's nails every single time he's out there, and he just hasn't been.
No.
And for the Astros, Yordan Alvarez, we'll get to more into him. Like, he is making it feel like this team can make a run again because he's changing the dynamic of the lineup with how good he is alone. My biggest question now, again, is almost just the pitching staff, and the lineup has been atrocious.
Mm-hmm. The La Grasa juice isn't worth the squeeze.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's where it's at. Like, I mean, it's worth the squeeze for because the Astros are paying him for the rest of the year. Like, I saw that DFA take. What? Like,
I mean, I will say, Jeremy, I felt validated a little bit because it was
because you wanted to trade him 18 months ago?
Yes.
Or whatever it was, 14 months ago?
When he shook off Yiner and gave
Yeah.
up a grand slam, we were at a golf tournament that day. Like,
Yeah.
when this was happening, I was like, yes! I was like, people are going to be on my side and say I was right. 'Cause
No, I've seen that.
I got crushed for that take, but
No, I still think it's a terrible take.
I know you do.
Yeah, you don't trade one of your better pitchers whenever you're in contention, and you certainly don't. If you want to do it in the offseason, different story, but not during the season. It's a terrible message to the clubhouse, and you certainly don't DFA him. The Astros ceiling. I mean, I know that Framber hadn't been great lately, but for the Astros to realistically be a World Series contender, they have to get something from Framber, and probably pretty close to the good side of Framber versus obviously what we saw the other day. But no, like, I mean, the irony here is that maybe he's pitching and acting his way back into the Astros price range. Like, that's kind of the funny part of this. Like, what is the most you would be willing to give Framber for whoever your team is? Like, whoever you're looking. If you're a GM for any contending team in Major League Baseball that needs a starting pitcher, what is the maximum contract you would give to Framber?
Probably that Max Fried 218.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I'm nowhere near that.
I think there'll be someone that could be that desperate to look at it.
Maybe so.
You look at the Yankees with where they're at, Cole coming off Tommy John.
Could you imagine Framber in New York?
Oh my gosh, he'd be a disaster. Like, he honestly, the best contending place for him to play, I think, is actually San Diego.
That'd be good.
Because there's not a lot of pressure there, but they are a very good baseball team. There'd be good defense behind him, and they're going to have to replace Dylan Cease in the offseason. Like, so, and they spend crazy money. The Giants.
They're kind of weird though. Like, they're weird. Like, they'll spin, but they'll also trade guys.
I know.
Like, their behavior's odd. Like, it's unlike any other Major League
But
Baseball team.
I mean, I think he still can get, if he performs well in the postseason, which will be what matters most in the end, then he can still get a $200 million contract.
I don't think he'll get.
I
200.
wouldn't do it if I owned it.
No, that's what I was asking though.
If I won that $1.3 billion Powerball or whatever
Yeah.
it's up to now, and I could buy 50% of a baseball team, I'd say stay away.
See, like, I'm not sure he gets $200 million anymore. I had my doubts prior to, like, this season. Because, I mean, he does enter free agency a year after free. So, like, 200 was kind of like the over-under for me. But the way that he's pitched in the last 6 games, and then this, which is national headlines, I have a hard time seeing $200 million. Now, if it were me, and look, I'm stingy. Like, I don't love signing free agents, especially that are in their 30s. I don't like signing pitchers to long-term deals because they get hurt. So I'm not really a big believer in spending big money in free agency. I think that I would top off at like 90 for 3, 100 for 4. That's about it for me, though. Like, I wouldn't go any further than that.
Yeah, so Max Fried's contract ends up being $27.5 million a year for 8 years.
Yeah, that's the length there is what is my concern.
Yeah, so it's more, I guess when I say 200, I should walk that back a little bit. It's more that per year average. I would still pay him $27 million a year in free agency, but I wouldn't go 5, 6 years. I mean, I wouldn't go past 6 years, I don't think.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't go past 4.
Yeah.
And I would be very uncomfortable with 4.
And I definitely wouldn't give him a no trade.
Now,
clause.
I do wonder, though, if, like, if there is some validity to that theory that Framber's feeling the pressure because he's about to be a free agent, I wonder if there is the comfort in that. Like, where all of a sudden he's, like, at ease. He's, like, tranquil. Like, I wonder. I wonder.
Do you think Salazar is behind the plate for his next start?
I think that Salazar would have went to Sugar Land whenever they brought Caratini off of the concussion protocol or the concussion injured list. but they felt that the look of that
Would look
was
bad.
terrible.
It would have been an
So
awful
because
look.
why is Salazar on this team and Chaz is not? I know Chaz, obviously we don't love Chaz. He had been great. But Salazar is not going to play. Like when Yordan was off this team and Yainer and Caratini were like both in the lineup at the same time, Salazar wasn't playing. So now Salazar is going to play? Like absolutely not.
Yeah.
Like if this didn't happen between Framber and Salazar, I think Salazar would have went back to Sugarland. And also like the fact that he took out the lineup on Wednesday. It's like, hey man, you're our guy. We got your back.
What'd you
Like
think
we're
of
not
that?
sending you down, and you're going to take out the lineup to show our subtle support.
It was
Kind of cheesy.
honestly, it was too cheesy.
But
for
it's
me.
what they do.
I know,
They
but
are
It's
cheesy.
the Cam Smith discussion
Yes.
about the way they did that with bringing his parents, and I was like, Joe, I don't like this, Mr. Espada. Like I don't like this move. It was too cheesy to have him bring out the lineup. Honestly, if I was the Yankees, I just would have been chuckling, like as it's happening. Like that's something like I feel like we've never seen before.
No, I
Like a player to do something, to be involved in a confrontation.
No.
I'm sure we have, but then like to be like, you're gonna take the lineup card out the next day. Like, what is this like? High school?
Well, I mean, they believe like in the symbolic thing.
They do.
I mean, they like you brought up the Cam Smith thing, like that. I think
Josh
it's-
Hader when he's late to be announced as an all-star.
I think his spot is a little cheesy.
Yeah.
Which I mean, it doesn't matter. Like, well, let me pump the brakes on that. It could not matter, but it could. There could be a few players that are looking. Look, I have a big league friend that used to play in the bigs that I go to at time. Be like, hey, what do you think about this? Just to kind of get a feel for what the big leaguer feels like. And I mean, I went to him with the Cam Smith thing, and he's like, a few big leaguers that have been around for a little while might look at that and be like, this guy's a little cheesy.
Yeah,
This guy's
for sure.
This guy's a little, minor leaguey.
Let's talk about the injured guys here. We'll start with a little bit of a surprise. All of a sudden, Brian McTaggart's down there on the field. He's tweeting out video of Isak Paredes.
Yeah.
Came out of nowhere. Also, I mean, like maybe this rehab is going well, and he said he's hopeful he can still play this season. Do you have hope that you'll see? I don't know how it works in the lineup, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think there's a way. I think there's a very obvious way. Like a lot of people say the second base thing, like play him at second. I'm not sure he could ever play second.
He's your DH, right?
Yeah.
And Yordan's in left.
Yeah, and Altuve's at second. And it's not your ideal defense, although Yordan's a better left fielder than Altuve, but Altuve's a far inferior second baseman to either Ramon Urias or Mauricio Dubon. But I think you would go with that. If all things go well, you would go with that. It's not a guarantee that all things go well. And maybe it's not an everyday thing. Like they value a good defensive second baseman when Framber and Hunter Brown are pitching. But that's probably at least half of your playoff games.
I mean, think about a wild card series, which they're in position
Yeah.
to be in right now. That means Isak Paredes is healthy and not playing for 2 days, or
Yeah.
until the bullpen comes in.
I mean, right. I mean, it's one of those things, though, that, that'd be kind of hard to do, though. Like, because one of the guys is a DH.
Yeah.
So, like, if you're on DH and Altuve was left or either guy, and you played Urias at second, like, you would pinch hit Isak for Urias, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know if I love that. Urias has been pretty good. But maybe situationally. Yeah, okay, I could see that
Because then you
scenario.
can go just down the line as the next time he comes up
Uh-huh.
and a pitcher comes up, then with the substitution, that's where Caratini comes
Yeah.
in. That's where Chas McCormick, if he's on the roster, comes in.
Yeah, it's one of those things we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Like I'm sure they're, spitballing some ideas, but I mean, with the amount of injuries this team has, like there's no sense being like, this is what we're gonna do when he's back. Like, okay, let's see where we are when he's back, and then we'll make a decision then. Like it's not that
Yeah.
hard. You can come up with a decision in 15 minutes. Like there's no sense in really mapping it out now. If you're them, us, where we live in the opinion world, it makes sense for us to do it. I think the easiest way is Altuve plays second, Yordan plays left, which he's looked pretty good defensively in left. And then Isak is your DH.
And then Spencer Arrighetti placed on the 15-day injured list with right elbow inflammation. Not good.
I mean, I think it ends the season.
Yes.
I mean, in what world does a guy who is reporting elbow pain and then later we find out there's elbow inflammation comes back in a month? Like, I think I think Spencer Arrighetti's 2025 season is officially banged, which stinks because, I mean, how many games did he pitch this year? 5? Like, he had a promising rookie year. You had hopes that he would be your 3 or 4 coming into this season, and a fluke broken thumb on a line drive in batting practice, and then you come back and your elbow gets inflamed. I think best case scenario he's out for the year. Like
Yeah.
worst case scenario he's out all of next year.
Because he has Tommy John.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like I think best case scenario is like, hey, it's elbow inflammation. We're shutting him down the rest of the season. He'll be back, pitchers and catchers in February.
Because even like if let's say he spent exactly 15 days on the injured list, that means his probably next start in theory then would be September 25th, right?
Are you counting a ramp? Well, they did retro date it. Which,
they did.
Yeah,
Okay.
they made it retroactive to the last time he pitched, but I think it was only 2-day difference.
I guess to be September 18th. Relatively.
Well, I
So
mean,
that's a week and a half left in the season.
That's assuming he has 0 rehab.
Exactly. Yeah. So
Yeah.
so that's 10 games left in the year. About like you're gonna give him 1-2 starts, and then you're gonna put him on the postseason roster. Like even in the most optimistic world, it's like he makes 2 more regular season starts, but he doesn't factor into the playoffs most likely at that point. Because and again, that's overly optimistic when I think we all kind of feel at this point, just based on what the Astros' unfortunate track record is see you in 2027, dude.
Yeah, I hope.
2028 maybe.
No.
No, because of lockout.
That would be the. Oh, okay. You're still on that thing.
Yeah, I'm still on the lockout thing.
Yeah, I usually just bury my head in the sand when it comes to CBA negotiations. Let me know what the rules are whenever you're done griping. I almost said something else. So, no, I mean, I'm hoping I think that's best case. I think best case is he's around when pitchers and catchers report in February. I'd be stunned if he pitches again this year.
Yeah, I don't think he will be back for the Astros.
But it's not good because his last outing, you've got all the punchies. His last 2 starts have been solid.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's easily one of your best 5 starters.
Mm-hmm. I mean, and now it's Jason Alexander, Christian Javier are your 2 playoff contenders.
I mean,
for that spot.
I don't even think it's contenders.
Well, they're your 2 guys.
Are you talking about? Oh, you're talking about for a wild card series?
Yeah.
You're right about that. I was thinking more of a 4-man rotation.
Yeah,
in
for
the playoffs.
for the ALDS and CS and potentially World Series, those are your 4 guys. It's not even a question mark at this time. Who gets the ball in that 3rd game of the series? We'll see. I thought Christian Javier was better. We're recording this on Thursday before the Astros game versus the Yankees.
Better. He didn't allow a hit.
Yeah, I mean, he was great. So much better. But I'm starting to lean Javier. I'm sure that as we're recording this before I start, it means he's going to get crushed tonight and make me look like a fool as this airs on the radio and YouTube channel. But, we'll see how it goes.
You'll land on Bad Take Boulevard.
I think I live on Bad Take Boulevard.
I don't think you've been on there in a while. You know what?
No one listens to my show from 6 to 7.
You know what the fans would say?
What?
The odd man out. It'd be Framber.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Framber's
for
the odd
sure.
man out. 3-man Astros rotation to the playoffs in the wild card series is Hunter Brown, it's Costanza, and it's Christian Javier.
If he came down with left elbow inflammation, I don't think anyone would be crying. They should be.
Yeah, you're right.
They should be crying because you still, as much as he annoys me, and I honestly this might be really harsh, but I'm embarrassed for him in the way that he acts on a field sometimes. But you need him out there to go to the World Series this year.
Yeah, probably. No, I mean at his best, he's easily your second best starter. Yeah. Easily your second best starter. He could win a game for you by himself.
It's not particularly close.
No, I mean he 8 shutout innings, allowing 3 hits. He is capable of doing that.
Yeah,
he's your second best starting pitcher at their best.
Replacing Framber Valdez this offseason, even though we don't think he should come back as an Astro, is the #1 priority. It's the only priority for the Houston Astros this offseason.
Yeah,
it's the only thing that they can focus on.
It's an interesting. It's gonna be an interesting offseason because they have a surplus of position players, and then they have a surplus of back of the rotation starters. They have 8 guys who could be the back of the rotation starters.
Yeah, can you find a low-level team that's got a player that they want to move off of for salary that will take position players and back-end rotation guys? Is probably what you're hoping for.
Yeah.
At this point. All right, here's Jeremy Brand. I'm Joe George. Take our only break here. When we get back, we'll talk about Yordan Alvarez and a confidence question about the Houston Astros. We'll do all that next, but first, let's hear from our friends at Blue Star Tequila.
In the highlands of Jalisco, as the fierce heat of day fades into dusk, the sun dips below the horizon, and our jimadores begin their work. Harvesting our precious agave azul beneath the glow of stars, while the night air is cool and calm. Away from the harsh heat of the sun, we protect our agave's freshness, locking in essential natural properties and sweetness, and preserving its unique flavor profile. This world-first practice has been warmly embraced by our jimadores, who relish the soothing embrace of evening's cool air as they work beneath the moonlight. 100% agave azul, night harvested, unfiltered, and additive-free. We invite you to taste the Blue Star difference.
All right, Jeremy, since coming off the injured list, Yordan Alvarez is slashing .435, .563, .609 with 8 walks and 32 plate appearances. The Astros are 5-3 with him in the lineup. That tweet is read exactly from Brian McTaggart. Thank you for the information.
Go Cougs.
Go Cougs. He's been awesome.
McTaggart? Yeah, he's great.
He's always awesome. Yordan's been a little bit better. And that's no offense to Tags here, but Yordan over Tags.
No. You know what's funny? As I was thinking about this today, is like whenever Yordan came, we're like, hey, temper your expectations. He's not going to be, Yordan right out of the gate. Give him a couple of weeks. Let him ease into things. Let him see big league pitching. And then hopefully in the playoffs, he's ready to go. He's 100%. No, dude rolls out of bed and is the best version of Yordan Alvarez.
It's insanity.
It's like Michael Brantley a little bit. Remember, like the whole thing on Brantley was he could roll out of bed and give you 2 hits?
Yep.
Yordan Alvarez could roll out of bed and be Yordan Alvarez. It's insane. Like, it's insane. Like, he is an enigma. The mystery with the hand. Still don't know what was wrong with it, even though they're pumping that thing with injections. No clue what's wrong with his hand. But whenever Yordan Alvarez is feeling good, he is arguably the best offensive player in all of baseball.
And sometimes it's not really close. Like, it's Judge, Ohtani, Yordan, and then there's usually a sizable gap between that next player. And sometimes it's, it's been Kyle Tucker, it's Fernando Tatis Jr., it's Bryce Harper, it's Kyle Schwarber. Like, it's those 3 guys kind of stand alone in their own category.
Yep.
And for Yordan to come back and be as good as he's been, it's a joke almost. Like, it's unbelievable to see what he's been. And it does, as you're watching it unfold, it does make you think, okay, I feel like this changes the narrative a little bit about what the Astros can be. There's still a lot of struggles in the lineup right now. It still has not been great. But when you have that guy in the lineup that in playoff moments, he reaches them and he goes above and beyond what you need from your star players, it just does feel like it's a different level of, okay, the Astros can do this thing this year with where they stand right now.
Well, for you, it's hope, and he adds to your ceiling. Like all right, we potentially could have a very good offense. They haven't clicked on all cylinders, and they certainly have been nowhere close to that ceiling offensively. But it gives you hope that they could get there, and if they do get there, they're dangerous. Because, you can make the case that if they do get there, they're a dangerous offense, especially in an American league that I think is wide open. And then what it also does to the opponent that you're playing is that it instills fear in that lineup. When the Astros were playing Wednesday night and Yordan came up, I think the tying run was at second. They had first and second, I think 2 outs. And Yordan was up, down by a run. And I'm like, yeah, Boone's going to walk him. Like, maybe not intentionally, but they're not going to give him anything to hit. They pitched to him. They pitched to Yordan. Like, I much rather face Jose Altuve with the bases loaded 2 outs down a run than Yordan Alvarez, first and second 2 outs with down a run, with a tying run at second base. So I was surprised they pitched to him. But that's what he does to a lineup. Is like he makes you question what you got to do. If you do walk Yordan in that spot, okay, well now you got the bases juice for arguably one of the greatest second basemen in the history of the game, offensive second baseman in the history of the game. So he does provide hope for you, and he gives opponents fear. Because, like you mentioned, Judge and Ohtani, best offensive players in baseball. Like, Yordan's probably never going to have the counting numbers as those guys because he doesn't play as many games, especially years where he misses 100 of them. So he's not going to put up like the raw volume numbers of Ohtani and Judge. But if you go ask pitching coaches around baseball or pitchers around baseball, like, give me 5 guys that you fear the most in the batter's box when you're facing them, I would argue and I would think that Yordan Alvarez is going to be on a heavy percentage of those lists.
Yeah, I do really like what the Astros did. You look at Wednesday's game as an example, and with the lineup, and because I know we've discussed that about throughout the year of like if Yordan comes back, because it felt like a million times Yordan was about to come back. But Pena leading off, whose career renaissance is thanks to Carlos Correa, we learned. Stop Astros fans asking for Michael Brantley to be the hitting coach. Ask Carlos Correa to be the hitting coach. But I like with how they're doing this at the top with Pena, Alvarez, Altuve, Correa. I like having Altuve behind it. I'm kind of buying in so far.
He's hitting into a lot of double plays. It would be nice if Altuve would be good.
Yes, He is, but I
had a wild
still have
idea
that
the other
belief.
day.
Oh, let's hear it.
Like, I think the batting orders are mostly overrated. We know this stance, even though I talk about them every single day. Because it's fun to talk about. Sports debate's fun, right? I'm a believer of the old school, like, hey, get your best slugger in that 4 spot, get your 3 best on base guys in front of them, and just sit back and watch all your slugger drive in runs. But they're not going to pitch to Yordan in that spot because there's no one behind him who garner any level of respect. Like, okay, Walker's protecting him, Yiner's protecting him. Like, Yordan's going to see nothing to hit. So that's why it's case by case with each and every team. I love the idea of Yordan in the cleanup spot, probably not with this personnel and roster construct. Who's your next best hitter after Yordan? Like right now, like who do you have the most faith that is going to produce?
Correa.
Over Pena?
Well, I like Pena in the leadoff spot.
Okay, so this is my wild idea. Pena hits a bomb yesterday. I'm like, man, wouldn't it be nice if Pena protected Yordan? Well, how could you get Pena to protect Yordan but keep Pena in the top of the order? This is a crazy idea. It's a crazy idea.
I have seen the number 44 lead off before. His name was Anthony Rizzo.
Your new leadoff man, Yordan Alvarez. I mean, they finished good enough offensively Wednesday where you don't need to make drastic changes yet. Like, I mean, this is just something like a toying with the idea.
But
I'm not calling for Yordan to be the leadoff quite yet, but I wouldn't hate it.
Otani leads off.
I wouldn't hate it.
We've seen Judge lead off.
Wouldn't hate it. Like, if the whole idea, what's the reason that Major League Baseball?
At-bats.
Okay, well, who gets more bats, lead off or 2-hole? And if Yordan's not going to get pitched to with people on base, then why wouldn't you just lead him off game? This is, you know, where I first thought of this idea was with Barry Bonds. Like with the year that Barry Bonds, like when they were not pitching to him ever, I was like, why wouldn't Dusty just lead him off?
Yeah.
Why would like if they're not going to pitch to him with runners on base, why not have them set the table?
And if Yordan gets on base, where he's at now,
yeah,
and Altuve hits a ground ball to shortstop, Altuve's probably out, probably double play, right?
I mean, Altuve's been hitting into a lot of double plays.
If Pena hits that same ball,
yeah,
he might be safe.
Because
he's got some wheels.
He's the fastest guy on your team.
You know what, Jeremy? Approved.
I mean, everybody like, oh yeah, Yordan needs about second to get on more at bats. Okay, I call that take, and I'll raise you one. Yeah, just go ahead and I would have done it on Thursday if the Astros offense didn't wake up on Wednesday night. Because they woke up Wednesday night, they scored 8 runs. You know, the second half of that game. Okay, just status quo. Don't leave it. But if you go into another funk where you get shut out 3 games in a row, or you score 2 runs over the course of 4 or 5 games, shake it up. Because halfway through that game on Wednesday, because the Astros offense has been putrid.
It's been awful.
After about the middle of the game on Wednesday, I tweeted it at Jeremy Branham. I tweeted it. I said the Astros need to drastically shake things up. And the thing that you can do to drastically shake things up is you just put the big fella in the leadoff spot. If they're not going to pitch to him with nobody on base, just lead him off. But they woke up offensively, so I'm not there yet. It's still in the chamber.
So with that, I do have an Altuve question. So Altuve moved to left field because he wasn't as good at second base. We've seen him a lot more at second base recently.
Yeah.
We've seen him more at DH because Yordan's been fine in left field. Then we saw Altuve willingly move down in the order because it took him too long to get from left field to the dugout, which in reality was because they were better with Pena, and they're trying to make Altuve look like the greatest teammate in the world.
They did that when he moved to left, too. Why did he originally move to left?
Because for Bregman.
Yeah.
But then we found out they were talking about it months before.
They lie.
So should we just be having the conversation about the way Altuve is playing about moving him down even further? He does everything. He doesn't complain.
Yeah.
He goes out there and does his job. Like, I don't know how you arrange it after Yordan. Like, if it stays Pena Alvarez, it's probably easy to just go Correa. But if you want to keep moving Altuve down, I don't think there's anything wrong with it because we've seen them be willing to move him. And he's willing to move without being – he's not Rafael Devers. He's the polar opposite of Rafael Devers.
Well, when he struggled in the COVID year, he went to Dusty and told him to move him down. And he was like, I'm hurting the team right now. Please move me down. And Dusty hit him in the 6th spot, I think, for like 3 games. And I think they might have had an injury, and he had to get back towards the top. The struggle with that is, one, he is the greatest Astro ever, so you're trying to pay respect to the greatest Astro ever. You know, feelings aside. The other part of that, like feelings aside, is that he does have the ability of having a rough patch, and then all of a sudden it clicks, and he's Jose Atluve again. But even so you feel like that's coming, but I'm with you. I don't mind the idea of moving him down because Yordan's getting on base over half the time, and Jose Atluve is hitting ground balls in the infield. They're both getting wiped out. Like, what good is getting on base if the next guy's getting into a double play? So, no, I'm not opposed to it. I've kicked it around in my mind. People don't love hearing that because it's, they're Jose Altuve. But, no, I think it'd be in the best interest of the team. Now, you don't have a lot of great guys going right now. Like, so that makes it a little bit more difficult.
There's not that argument to put someone else there.
I mean,
really.
If you were just keeping the lineup the way that it is now, with Pena and Yordan, you could, okay, Correa, you're bad third. Altuve doesn't look like a cleanup man, right? Like, at least in the way that we've learned and been conditioned to think about what cleanup guys look like. But I think it would make a little bit of sense. It would certainly help if Walker and Yainer were just like producing. I don't hate the idea of Sanchez up in a higher spot in the lineup either against righties, but you can't do it all the time because he can't play against lefties. But no, I'm not opposed to it at all.
What are your feelings of what the Astros are going to do just this remaining month? Hold on to the division?
Yeah.
Run away with the division because of the way the Mariners are playing, who've been atrocious?
See, I've been just waiting for the Astros to flip the switch because I think their potential is way up here. I think they have a World Series winning team potentially with their potential. Because Hunter and Framber, when they're going well, is a formidable 1-2, one of the better 1-2s in baseball. Their lineup has serious weapons. Now, they've taken some injuries to the bullpen, which really hurts because my thing has always been turn it to the bullpen, get to Abreu and Hader to get your final 9 outs even, and you feel pretty good about that. So the Hader loss hurts quite a bit. Hopefully he comes back, but it doesn't feel great on that front. I don't know. Maybe no news is good news, but it feels like no news is bad news on that front.
I agree.
But they just haven't been able to do it. Like, they've just been kind of turning their wheels for the last couple of months. You mentioned this earlier, like the Astros, what are they? They're like 2-1 in September. Does that sound right? I think they're 2-1 in September. This is, as we record this, prior to their game on September 4th, this is their first winning month that they've had since June. Like, they're below 500 in July and August. So, like, I still have hope and feel like it's possible that they could flip that switch, but it's been a lot of games now where they've been a very, not even average.
Yeah.
They've been a very, let's just call it average though. They've been a very average team for 2 months.
And I think that benefit of the doubt is deserved because I have vibes of the pandemic season here.
Yeah.
It wasn't good.
No.
They weren't in the real playoffs. They made the playoffs because of the expanded playoffs, and all of a sudden they're in Game 7 of the ALCS with no fans there, or little fans there, playing the Rays, trying to go to the World Series.
Yeah.
So it's like they've been bad at times, and all they do is they're 10 back last year in the division. They find a way to win it. Now they get knocked out early in the playoffs, but it's like every time you doubt them, they seem to overcome. I think that will change for me if they make the playoffs this year and lose 2 games and go home. I think the expectations have to change for this franchise a little bit then at this point, but they do deserve the benefit of the doubt because of what they've done in the past and because of the talent on the roster. So are you more confident in, let's say, the Astros hitting that switch, getting it going into the postseason, or the Texans going 3-1 in September, let's say?
Okay, so Texans going on a run?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, the Astros going on a run?
Yeah, the Astros going on a run.
Or the Houston Texans starting 3-1. I think I do have the Texans starting 3-1.
You got Rams, Buccaneers
home
in the first 2 games. Jacksonville, Titans.
I didn't know this was a football show, Joe.
It's a comparative.
Done my homework
it's a
a little
comparative
better.
question.
I think they go through. I think the Texans go 3-1.
So you're more confident in the
Because
Texans.
all they
than
have
you
to
are
do,
the Astros
all they
right
have
now.
to do is split at LA, home for Tampa.
Yeah.
And then win at Jacksonville, home versus Tennessee.
Yeah.
Like I have them starting 3-1.
Yeah. So you feel more confident in the Texans right now.
Versus the Astros
Yeah.
flipping a switch and going on a run.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty close, but I would lean Texans 3-1. Like I think that the range for the Astros is that they go 2-Q like they did last year, or win the World Series. Like that's kind of like
Doesn't it
that's
feel
how
like there's-
helter skelter they
Yeah.
are.
Doesn't it feel like there doesn't feel like room for an in between right now?
Yeah. I mean, of
I
course.
mean, and there literally is, but like it really feels like it's going to go at minimum ALCS or losing the wild card, and only play 2 games in the wild card.
It's a weird year. Like it's a weird year, and like maybe the frustration in them shouldn't be as great as it is. But, like the injuries they've had, like that's a historic level of injuries. The drama that they've had, the reunion, like it's been an emotional year in happiness and in frustration. You've had so many injuries. Like Are they running on fumes? Like, it could very well be that.
Yeah.
Like, the hope was, okay, well, Yordan comes back, these injured guys come back, and they're your spark, and they're providing a spark, but the rest of the guys are just holding on instead of, like, helping out.
They're not sparking anything.
No.
Like, there's a spark there.
Yeah.
But the car's not starting.
No. Like, the other guys are just like, yeah, Yordan's going to lift us, and, like, we're not going to do any work, you know? Like, if they all get in the boat and row together, like, I think they got a shot. But right now, Yordan's the only one rowing, and they're just along for the ride.
Yeah.
So, like, can they flip that switch, to me, is the question. Because there's no argument. Like, it's a fact. The last 2 months, they've been a very average baseball team.
And that's probably a nice way to put it still.
You can make the case it's been below average.
Yeah. All right, he's Jeremy Branham. I'm Joe George. You find us on all social media platforms at Jeremy Branham, at Joe George Radio. We'll be back with you guys next Friday for another edition of Inside the Icebox. You can catch the radio show at 7 o'clock on Fridays. The YouTube show drops on Friday mornings. Catch Jeremy every single day from 3 to 6 p.m. This episode has been brought to you by Blue Star Tequila, the world's first and only night harvested tequila. You can find it near you at bluestartequila.com. Talk to you next week. Have a good one. Peace.